from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 10.
We begin with new information tonight about a lawsuit filed by parents against Bemidji schools. They say the district ignored reports of exploitation of students by a former assistant principal. Parents claim that 37-year-old Brandon Bjerknes was allowed to sexually exploit minors on several occasions. We dug into court documents, and Valley News Team's Katie Upperly joins us with what she found. Katie?
Mike, there are 3 parents filing the lawsuit. They say the district failed its students by not immediately acting on claims against former assistant principal Brandon Bjerknes. Documents say he victimized at least 55 girls and boys, many who he personally knew through his position at Bemidji Middle School. Bjerknes is spending 25 years in federal prison for pressuring minors to send him sexual pictures, as well as sending them explicit photos of himself through Facebook and Snapchat. The district was made aware of the issue in September of 2016, although Bjerknes did not resign until April of 2017. Parents are suing, claiming the district turned a blind eye to the accusations and did nothing to educate or train students or staff about the dangers of social media, sexting, cyberbullying, or how to protect their students from exploitation. The parents are asking for no less than $75,000 for mental anguish, severe emotional distress, and other impacts caused by the conduct of the district. Mike?
All right, thanks, Katie. This discrimination case has been filed through Beltrami County. It covers 5 counts, including negligent supervision. Some folks living in Cass County tonight may be breathing easier after getting a code red alert. Authorities wanted people living in the Chaffee area to know about a potentially dangerous situation around 7 o'clock. Code reds are sent to people telling them to stay in their homes. Authorities tell us that the issue's been resolved and that at no time were people in danger. Valley News Live has exclusive video tonight released of that deadly drive-by shooting at a Fargo McDonald's. In the video, you can see Gabriel Perez with his skateboard standing by the McDonald's drive-by on Main Avenue. A few seconds later, an SUV flies down the road and turns into the drive-thru. Next, you'll see the driver, Miguel Cooley, holding a gun and then firing several shots. Minutes later, emergency responders arrive on scene. Perez is then pronounced dead. Cooley was sentenced to serve at least 35 years in prison. Unanswered questions tonight surrounding bus safety. Valley News Live has a photo of a local school bus with its back windows covered in snow. Valley News Team's Alexander Kay showed the image to parents to get their reaction.
Shocked, appalled.
The bus in the photo is waiting to pick up kids from Davies High School. The back of it covered with snow with what looks like minimal attempts to wipe it off.
Hopefully there was a reason why it didn't get cleaned.
It belongs to Valley Bus, which provides student transportation for most schools in our area. The photo is raising questions about the safety measures of school buses. The bus that was covered with snow came from this parking lot behind me.
You can't see right behind the bus, especially the lower window. You don't know if somebody's actually walking around behind it quick.
Can't believe that bus driver wouldn't be cleaning out the back of his windows a little bit better than that.
The minimal window cleaning job has some parents questioning who was responsible.
I don't even know if it would be a bus driver that would do that. It almost kind of looks like a student might have done that.
It looked pretty irresponsible. And I couldn't imagine seeing somebody just driving around with their regular vehicle even like that.
Parents talked about how there should be a system before the bus hits the road.
And they should have to have the checks on their bus all the time, just like a routine walk around to make sure everything looks good on it. They're not driving off the flat tire, they're not driving off with their windows covered.
Despite the obvious mistake, the parents say they hope that this was an isolated case and not regular practice on the part of all drivers. In Fargo, Alexandra Kay, Valley News Live.
We did make several attempts to contact Valley Bus today, but received no response. The search for a mother who's been missing for over a week is over. Katrina Culbertson has been returned home safely. Katrina's family said that she went missing last Wednesday after a Tinder date. It's unclear where Katrina was or who she was with over the last 8 days. Family, friends, and fellow soldiers attended a memorial service today for a Fort Jackson soldier. Private Connor J. McGowan died earlier this month after he was found unresponsive following a training exercise. The 19-year-old private reported to Fort Jackson for Army basic training in October after training with the Arden Hills recruit program in Minnesota. He was also a soldier in the Minnesota Army National Guard. Fellow Fort Jackson personnel expressed deepest condolences to his family and friends during this difficult time. Inspectors have determined that a West Fargo building at the center of a previous whistleblower story was in fact infested with roaches. Today, the city and management at West Creek Crossing Apartments said that the problem is fixed. Residents we spoke to aren't buying it and say it's still a problem. Last week, Meridian Property LLC, which owns the building, was given the ultimatum of getting rid of the roaches by February 9th.
I'm glad that the city's finally coming down on them, and it needs to be, done, because otherwise it's just going to get worse and worse, and the other people are just going to have to deal with it, and new tenants are going to have to deal with it.
A spokesperson for the city of West Fargo says that they will continue to monitor the situation over the next few weeks. Flu season is sweeping across Minnesota and North Dakota, and it's showing no signs of slowing down. Since last week, the Minnesota Department of Health says 9 people have died across the state as a result of the flu, bringing this season's death toll to 25. None of those were children, but it's kids who are being particularly hit hard by this flu season.
We know the flu can be a serious an illness, and so they need time to make sure they're fever-free before returning to school.
Doctors say it's best to keep babies home right now instead of out in the public where people are sick. Officials say everyone over the age of 6 months needs to get a flu shot, not only to reduce the risk for themselves, but for others as well.
Valley News Live 10 at 10 continues with no wait weather.
All right, we begin with a look at our timeline. A winter storm we've been hearing about. A lot of watches, warnings, and advisories issued for this system heading our way. Friday, we'll see wind picking up throughout the day. Temperatures will be on their way up into the 20s, and the snow begins in the morning south by midday for the Central Valley. And as we go through the afternoon, it'll continue to push north. By Friday night, there'll be some major traffic difficulties and travel difficulties. And then overnight, the wind switches direction, becomes northwesterly. It'll blow in that direction all day Saturday. Not a lot of additional snow throughout the afternoon on Saturday, but the wind continues. So more on that in just a moment. Right now, we are warming up already. 4 degrees below. The temperature feels like 24 below with those 24-mile-per-hour gusts out of the south-southeast at this hour. Here's a look across the region. We're warming here where you see the white colors, the purple areas still bone-chilling cold for Cavalier, 15 below, 11 below readings this hour in Jamestown and in Valley City. Factor in the winds, and there is a wind chill advisory now until the morning for many of our counties because of this nonsense out here. Wind chills still between 30 and greater than 40 below out there at times. Langdon right now, 42 below, ear-biting cold. It is nasty out there. Bundle up. Continue to be cold and windy throughout the evening. Those winds are from the southeast. A few clouds moving into our southern counties, but all in all, hour-by-hour forecast shows overnight we'll have those southeast winds that really get to ripping, and by morning temperatures will be above zero. But because of the winds, it's going to be wind chilly. So that bus stop is going to feel mighty chilly first thing in the morning with single-digit readings and gusty southeast winds. Look at this. In the morning hours, the snow moves into the Southern Valley. Places like Hankinson, down into the Britain, South Dakota area, bands of snow setting up. And by afternoon and the drive time, it'll be pushing into the FM area. Just getting started and may impact a little bit that evening commute. It might be slow. Down south, though, and toward the Twin Cities, traffic may be in some spots very difficult because of the combination of gusty southeast winds to 40 miles per hour and snow at the same time. Nothing happening yet in the Devil's Lake Basin. Set things into motion by Friday evening. Notice this, eastern North Dakota in the Red River Valley and Minnesota having the moderate to heavy bands of snow, and the wind strongest in Minnesota at this hour. Some snow falling in the valley, not a lot of wind here, but by this time it will be accumulating in the Fargo area into the nighttime hours. As we go through the overnight, look at this wind direction shift happening out to the west. Gusty northwest winds take hold as the snow exits into Saturday morning. And now, the snow that we have on the ground now, the snow that we get from this storm system on Friday night into Saturday morning is all going to blow, it's going to drift, and that is why we're concerned about the potential for blizzard-like conditions across eastern North Dakota, the valley, and the I-94 corridor as we go through the day on Saturday. Look at the wind ripping all day long from the northwest, 30 to 45 miles per hour. Temperatures falling to sub-zero on Saturday. even though we won't get a lot of new additional snow on Saturday afternoon. Here's what falls from Friday midday and into your Saturday morning. And it looks like from the Red River, where you see the dark blue shades, a 5 to 9 category here should cover most. Isolated places could pick up more. Up north, because of very cold temperatures throughout the entire system, your snow is going to be fluffy, light, powdery, blowing around. Down south, we could have some areas of wet, heavy snow briefly. Now, as we go into the valley and out to the west, the snowfall amounts will ramp down very quickly. 3 to 6 here for Fargo, for Grand Forks, Jamestown, Valley City, and west of you, very little. Devil's Lake, maybe an inch, maybe 2. We'll keep you updated. But where that ramp sets up, where we have a decrease in snow, could still shift a little bit. There's a winter weather advisory, southeast North Dakota, for tomorrow because of the mixed precipitation that could happen in the morning. That'll be replaced by a winter storm watch at this point. Winter storm warnings, where we're most certain the wintry conditions will persist with heavy snow. And then, well, we'll keep you updated tomorrow because there will be some shifting and changing to the exact counties that have the winter storm warning versus a winter weather advisory. Temperatures 8 above in the morning, climbing to 25. Snow beginning near the midday hour here in Fargo and lasting into the drive time home and beyond. Be where you want to be by the time we get to the 5 o'clock hour. After that, things get a little difficult, if not impossible. Here's Bagley after a little snow shower there. Just a beautiful scene. Thank you, Deb, for sharing your photo. Now a look at the planning forecast. Wintry conditions Friday night into Saturday. Wind all day and temperatures falling throughout the day on Saturday. Make it miserable. Sunday, cold but quiet. And for Martin Luther King Day, Mike, it looks like a very cold start to the day at about 20 below.
How can it get so bad after climbing up to 25 degrees? I don't get it.
That's what loads us with the moisture. So,
all right, thanks.
Yeah.
Hey, before the storm gets here, here's some advice. Make sure that you have the Valley News Live Storm Team weather app. You'll get the weather, stay up on the conditions anytime, anywhere. You'll get the latest forecasts and up-to-date situations so you can plan your day. Just search VNL Weather in the App Store. And here's the best part. You can download it for free. Coming up next on Valley News Live 10 at 10, the Senate set to begin impeachment trial against President Donald Trump next week. New information coming up.